As you may know, our Rebel Rally for Alberta Families has caused a little bit of controversy. Actually, it's all just fake, overblown controversy whipped up by the left and kept alive by weak conservative politicians who are too busy wanting to be liked by a media that hates them than to do the right thing by thousands of Albertans. Now, here's what spurred the fake outrage. Conservative leadership candidate and perennial target of the left-wing media, Chris Alexander, was on the steps of the legislature when our frustrated crowd of Albertans started yelling about Rachel Notley. Just listen.
Or we can do the opposite. We can do what Rachel Notley is doing now and send jobs away. Which one's it going to be? We're not going to stand for that.
Okay, whatever. No one really thinks the sheriff should go and lock up Rachel Notley. Those people who were chanting were just frustrated and they felt ignored. They're just blowing off steam. Who really cares? Well, the media, they got their panties in a knot and went into full smear merchant overdrive like they always do when conservatives speak like normal people, and they got busy trying to destroy Chris Alexander and his bid for the leadership of the Conservative Party of Canada. And while I was watching the outrage roll in, I came across this tweet by Faisal Mullah. He's saying this is Chris Alexander's last strike and that he should drop out of the leadership race. Now that's ridiculous. Chris didn't even chant, but it's even more ridiculous for another reason. You see, Faisal Mullah works for the Suzuki Foundation, the charity founded by CBC's in-house environmental Marxist David Suzuki. He's a director general there. And he was the guy who started the cry bullying by environmentalists that pushed national coffee chain Tim Hortons to pull ads from pipeline company Enbridge right out of their stores. And David Suzuki himself has called for the jailing of climate change deniers. Can you imagine how crazy that is? And he wasn't joking. He wasn't letting off steam. It wasn't a light-hearted chant mirroring what we've seen at the bombastic rallies for Donald Trump in the United States. This is David Suzuki's legitimately held opinion. Suzuki told Rolling Stone Australia that, "I really believe that people like the former Prime Minister of Canada should be thrown in jail for willful blindness. If you're the CEO of a company and you deliberately avoid or ignore information relevant to the functioning of that company, you can be thrown in jail." Left-wing environmentalist darling David Suzuki just called for the jailing of anyone who doesn't subscribe to his narrow worldview. And he was not ever once renounced by his friends on the left. He continues to be celebrated, actually. His taxpayer-funded show on the CBC, The Nature of Things, has even been renewed for another year since he said all that crazy Stalinist stuff in Australia. This is how unaware the left is, even of themselves. This is how inconsistent and hypocritical they are, that someone like Faisal Mullah can work for a man who's guilty of saying far worse things than the frustrated words of some unemployed Albertans. This is what rolls right under the radar of the mainstream media, and well, I guess that's why the Rebel exists. For the Rebel.media, I'm Sheila Gunn-Reid. Have you heard about our big plan? We're going to be bigger than the CBC. We're going to talk about your issues, not the ones the media elites in Ontario think are important. Go to thebigplan.ca and find out how you can help us.